What is the best GMRS handheld radio coming into 2022? Over the course of the last 18 months or so, GMRS has become very popular, partially because of lockdowns, partially because of communications, backup systems, whatever the reason why GMRS has exploded, it has. And today we're going to talk about what I think are the top 11 or maybe 12 GMRS HTs, handheld radios, handheld transceivers, handy talkies. HT is an acronym. We're going to talk about the best GMRS handheld radios, and it's starting right now.
Shut up and sit down.
Hey folks, good afternoon. My name's Jason. In the ham radio world, I'm KC5HWB is my call sign. And in the GMRS world, I'm WRFK311. And this channel is called Ham Radio 2.0, where we talk about reviews, news, and how-tos of lots of things that are new in ham radio, but also in GMRS radio, CB radio, FRS radio, businessman radio, all kinds of other radio. If it has to do with radio, then we're going to talk about it on this channel. Thank you for stopping by the channel today. At the end of this stream, at the end of this video, after we talk about these 11 radios, I hope that you'll hit the thumbs up button for me and subscribe so that you can keep up with all the videos we put on this channel. Ever since the COVID lockdowns started in the United States, somewhere around March, April of 2020, there's been a lot of confusion and a lot of questioning about infrastructure for communications devices and how to communicate. Ham radio saw a lot of newly licensed hams in 2020 and 2021. 2020 brought us the ability to test ham radio operators, test people who want to go for their license virtually online instead of having to drive or walk into a facility and do it in person. For more information about that, check the link that I will put right here and also the link in the description below. Today, we're going to talk about the best, what I consider the best GMRS handheld transceivers, the best handheld radios for GMRS coming into 2022. I'm going to give you 11 of my top choices, and I hope you'll stick around and watch to the end. Let's get started. First and foremost, I will say that we're going to start at the bottom of the range as far as price goes, and we're going to work up from lowest price to highest price. So this order of radios I'm going to tell you about today is based on price. All of these radios I would recommend in a certain environment, and I'll explain this as I go along, okay? But suffice it to say that the more expensive radios are going to give you more features, a lot of times more power capability, more reliable battery life, more reliable receiver communication. So just understand that you get what you pay for. The first one we're going to talk about today is Baofeng. Now, I will say this, most of these radios are made in China. Some people might have a problem with that. If you don't want Chinese radios, we are going to talk about non-Chinese manufactured radios later in this video, but the cheapest ones are going to be made from China. So just decide what is best for you and your belief system and whatever you want to do from there. It's really kind of up to you. This one is what's called a Baofeng. That's the best Chinese I can say. That's as good as my Chinese gets. Baofeng. A lot of times people call them a Baofeng or a Baofeng or a Baofeng or something like that. The Baofeng G11S GMRS radio has a NOAA weather radio, walkie-talkie rechargeable, long-range two-way radio with earpiece, GMRS repeater channels. In other words, it can do a split offset. It can transmit on one frequency and receive on another frequency. And it's rechargeable, and they come in a pair. So these come in at about $60 a pair, which makes them $30 a pop. These are fairly new to the scene. I've got a couple of these that I've ordered that I will be reviewing soon. But I'm familiar with the Baofeng brand of radios. It is a good entry level to get your feet wet and get kind of familiar with the service you're using. It's not really, in my opinion, considered to be a top of the line radio or something you're going to want to carry in your arsenal for a bug out bag or a go kit or something like that. But if you want to get your feet wet in GMRS for not much money, this is a good option for you. And I think it could work really well for just getting your first GMRS license, getting on the air, talking on some local repeaters, seeing how everything works, making some friendships over the air, and just getting started in GMRS. The next model is the UV5G or UV5X series. Same company, which is Baofeng. Baofeng, I'm going to say it like that. Not a Rubicon says Baofeng. which I thought that was funny. The first time he said Baofeng, I had to pause the video. I was laughing so hard. So these UV5X, UV5G GMRS radios are based on the popular UV5R model kind of form factor. These are legal GMRS radios that you can use, which means they're FCC Part 95 certified. So you don't have to worry about legal ramifications or anything like that, because these have been approved by the FCC to use on GMRS frequencies. They come in at about the same price, about $60 a pair, so about $30 a pop. And the biggest difference between this one and this one is really kind of the form factor. These are a little bit, these UV5X models are a little bit smaller. They're more, if you have a UV5R or a similar radio in the ham radio world, or if you've been using a UV5R for GMRS, you can interchange your batteries, your antennas, your accessories, your earpieces, and all that kind of good stuff, and they will fit on these radios. But these come pre-programmed with all of your GMRS frequencies and some repeater offsets and whatnot. And for $60 for the pair, for either one of these, it's going to be a really good starting and entry point. Again, just to get your feet wet in GMRS, learn what the frequencies are, learn what the channels are, learn how to use repeaters in your area, and then move up from there. Now, those of you who want to talk about made in the USA products, Midland USA is one of the few radio manufacturers that's made in the USA. In fact, as far as I know, they're the only radio manufacturer from the USA that makes handheld radios. Now, I can talk to you all day long about ham radios, desktop and base station HF radios that are made in the USA, but that's not what we're talking about today. So the Midland brand of radios are made in the USA. They are really big into the commercial scene, GMRS, FRS. They make CB radios. They have one or two radios in the ham radio world that I think have been discontinued, but I was looking those up the other day and I couldn't really find what I was looking for. But these GXT1000VP4 radios, they come with headsets and chargers and a bunch of accessories, and you can get everything pictured here in this small picture right here that you can see on the left of the screen right there. It's a maximum extra talk power, great value, most popular radio. These come in at $69.99 for the pair, so they're about $35 a piece, so a little bit more expensive than the Baofeng, and they're gonna serve you a lot better than the Baofeng. They're gonna sound better. As far as when you key up and transmit and the other station receives you, you're going to sound better. And when you're receiving a signal back from that station, they're going to also sound better in that regard. Generally speaking, the batteries are going to last a little bit longer. They're a little bit easier to use, kind of a little bit more portable, and they are made in the USA, so you can't really argue with that. Buy2wayradios.com, which is the website we're looking at right here, they are a sponsor of this show. And I got connected with them a couple years ago, and I'm like, you guys carry a wide line of different radios. Ham radios, yes, but CB, businessman, FRS, GMRS, everything else, marine band radios. They carry a wide assortment of radios, so I highly suggest going to buy2wayradios.com, kind of browsing around and seeing all their inventory before you decide what to buy, because they carry a wide line of radios from multiple services. So these come in at about, like I said, $35 a pop. They're made in the USA. They're reliable. They've got big screens you can see them on. They have one charger that you set both radios in, and it's just a great starting point for not much more money than the Baofeng. This is a great starting point radio for you to get into GMRS. Radioidity.com is another manufacturer and distributor and reseller of radios. Most of their stuff are Chinese made, and most of their stuff is going to ship out of China. So just be aware of that. Again, decide what's best for you and what you want to do. They have a fairly new radio called the GM30. This is a GMRS radio that comes pre-programmed as well, like most of them do. It's a smaller 200 channel capacity radio. It'll do VHF and UHF scanner and receiver. So you'll be able to program a bunch of ham radio frequencies and businessman frequencies into the radio for receive only capabilities, so that you can kind of listen around and see what other people are talking about on other frequencies. These come in at $39.95 a pop. They are fairly new. They have a USB-C type charger. And for off-grid and preppers, I really recommend those radios where you can charge via a non-proprietary charging source like micro USB or USB-C or some sort of USB charger, where you can basically plug it into a brick or a solar panel. Same place you're going to charge your phone, you're going to charge your radio. That way you don't have to carry extra equipment with you. It's a very handy a feature and accessory to have. This one's USB-C chargeable. It is a 5-watt radio, so it's going to give you a little bit more power than the Baofeng radios that we just spoke about, and it comes from a reliable source. I've got a couple of these. I've used them in the field a couple times, and they work pretty well. So check the link in the description below, not only for all the radios we talk about today, but I have a $15 off coupon at radioidity.com. You can get $15 off of any order, $65 or greater, with the link in the description below. So check that out if you want to save some money. So this comes in at 40 bucks a pop. These are sold in singles instead of pairs, and you've got a bunch of extra stuff in it. You can get external speakers, longer range antenna. You can get headsets for it that are both concealed and non-concealed speaker mic headsets for it. You can get speaker microphones and an actual microphone coming off like that. And that's true for most of the Baofeng radios too. You can get that kind of accessory. So check out what accessories you want, what accessories it comes with or doesn't come with, and the price of the accessories that doesn't come with, and decide from there what you want to do. We're going to move back over here to buy2wayradios.com, and we're going to talk about the Midland T290VP4 radios. Now, I actually own a pair of these radios. I have them in my RV camper, which I keep at my hunting lease, and I give them to my friends on the lease to use while we're all in the hunting stands together. All the guys on my lease have GMRS licenses. There's only 2 of us that have a ham radio licenses, so he and I carry a ham radio as well as GMRS radio. But the GMRS radios work great for those guys around your hunting lease or your camping area who don't have ham radio licenses, but they got GMRS, so they can use these. These are a full-feature GMRS two-way radio in a handy value pack with extras. Has 22 GMRS channels plus the 14 extra pre-programmed privacy code channels, advanced weather technology with weather scan and weather alert, and 121 privacy codes. That's pretty standard, really. Fully compatible with other FRS and GMRS radios. The X-Talker T290VP4 value pack comes with all the extras you need to communicate with the rest of your group. So these come in about 90 bucks for the pair, 45 bucks a pop. They do come with all of these accessories right here. They come with the single charger that you can drop both in. That's a common Midland feature. They each come with a belt clip, a battery, and each come with an earpiece. So you've got everything that you need in there to use that with both privacy earpiece and just take that out and use it with the internal speaker. These are going to provide you a little bit better range because they're a little bit higher power than the last Midland we talked about. And the great thing about these is I've had these at my hunting lease for about a year and a half, and the batteries on them are still good. So many times these FRS and GMRS radios, the batteries will last like a year, maybe 10 months to a year, something like that. And then they'll just kind of, fail, and you'll have to buy batteries. And if you go look at the price of batteries, a lot of the times it's cheaper just to buy a whole new radio pack than it is to buy batteries. That's especially true for the FRS radios, which you can buy like for 30 or 40 bucks a pair. And then if you want to buy a battery, if you have to buy a replacement battery, they're like $15 or $20 each. And it just makes more sense to buy a new set of radios. But the batteries that in these T290 radios, I've actually been using myself for about a year and a half for the last 2 hunting seasons, and they've lasted a long time. So made in the USA, Midland, USA. You can check them out on their website. You can check them out on buy2wayradios.com. Great set of radios, easy to use, big screen, bright display. You can see it has the voice feature that you can turn off and on that tells you, what channel it's on, channel 1, channel 2, all that kind of good stuff. So you can turn that off and on, and you can program it and use it, and it will be a really good feature to your arsenal. We're going to move back over to the Chinese world. This is, a marriage between the Chinese world and the USA market. So this is B-Tech, or what's called Baofeng Tech. So Baofeng Tech is located in South Dakota. They import radios from China. They update them with different features and different models sometimes, and then they sell them mostly on Amazon. But then if you have questions about the radio, you pick up the phone and you call a service desk or a helpline in the United States instead of having to call to China or send an email to China and getting gibberish back in email. Okay, so yes, these are Chinese made. They are imported and sold on Amazon, but all of your technical support, all of your manual downloads, all of your firmware update downloads, and all of your information comes out of B-Tech, Baofeng Tech, which is in the United States and easy to get a hold of and easy to trade emails with. So again, choose whatever is best for your situation. This is the GMRS V1 handheld radio. Comes in at $60 a pop, which you can get on Amazon. This is the popular Baofeng UV82 form factor. So you can use external batteries and chargers that are for the UV82. The UV82 is a dual band ham radio. So if you have a ham radio, if you've seen a ham radio, the UV82 model, this is the same form factor of radio, and all of the accessories for the UV82 in the ham radio world will fit this radio. It has dual display, as you can see right there on the screen. You can display one channel on the top band, one channel on the bottom band. You can listen to both at the same time. It has 128 channels in the radio, which you can program through free software that you can download from baofengtech.com. You can program receive-only frequencies, so you can monitor local weather nets. You can monitor local ham radio repeaters or something like that, and it'll give you a little bit more features than the previous models of Baofeng we talked about. Plus, you get support from the USA. So this one is definitely getting added to the list today. Now we're getting into some higher quality and a little bit more expensive Chinese radios. A company called Ocean. Now it's spelled Waxun, something like that. Wuxin is how Richard at Main Trading Company says it. These radios are some of the better quality Chinese radios. They're going to be a better receiver, a better speaker, easier to read display, better battery life, larger battery life than the Baofeng radios, and they're just going to be all around more reliable. This is the KG805G. This is one of their first GMRS radios. This is a Part 95 FCC certified radio. True GMRS radio. This came out a couple of years ago. I did a video about this radio on this channel a while back. In fact, I think I called that "What is GMRS?" And in that video, I described everything about a brief description about what GMRS was. Then I talked about the radio itself. But this has been a really popular radio because it has a really pretty screen with a color backlight. It's got a little bit more power than the Baofeng radios do, and it's just, like I said, it just sounds better when you're transmitting. It sounds better when you're receiving. A little bit more reliable, a little bit better, just kind of overall build quality than the Baofeng radios. But this one comes in at $99 on buytwowayradios.com. They have a habit of selling out quickly, which tells me that they're a popular radio. I've used mine several times. I always had really good audio reports with it. I've always had a very good luck with it as far as reliability and battery life. And it does deliver 5 watts of power. And when one of these radios says repeater support, it means it'll do an offset. When you key up, it transmits on one frequency. When you unkey, it listens on another frequency. Some of your older GMRS style radios won't do that, but most of them that are made today will. So $99 a pop, $100 a pop. The KG805G GMRS two-way radio is going to be one of your more middle of the road to top of the line radios in the video that we're going to talk about today. Its big brother is the 905G, which comes in a little bit about $20 more. It's got a little bit larger form factor, a little bit more heavier duty feeling when you're holding it in your hand. So there's a little bit larger radio, a little bit taller antenna, so a little bit better receive on that. These are a little bit newer of a design. The 805 came out, and then like 3 to 6 months later, something like that, this 905 came out. When the 905 first dropped, they couldn't keep them in stock. Buy Two-Way Radio sold out, Amazon sold out, all these other stores were showing sold out. It transmits on the 15 high-powered GMRS simplex channels, 8 low-powered simplex channels that are shared with FRS, and all 8 GMRS repeater channels up to 5 watts of power, so you can change the power settings on there. It's also programmable with the optional programming cable and the software that you can download for free. You can add your own receive-only channels to it, like other business band channels, fire department channels, ham radio repeaters, and whatnot. This comes in at $120 a pop, a little bit more expensive than what we've talked about so far, but again, it's going to be more reliable. It's going to have a longer battery life. It's got a little bit more power than the inexpensive radios that are only 2 or 3 watts each, and it's going to be a really good addition to someone who's experienced with GMRS, knows how to program radios, knows what repeaters to listen to, and wants to take it with you as a reliable source of communication. This next one is brand new. In fact, this one hasn't even come out yet. This is a company called BetterSafeRadio.com. They are not one of my sponsors, but they are one of the channels that has sent me some free radios in the past and asked me to review some of their stuff. Everything that BetterSafe Radio has ever sent me has been very good. This radio, what they did was Bettersafe Radio, who's a USA company, they contacted Ocean in China, Waxin in China, and they worked together on a collaboration to make this radio and one or two others. This was designed by Bettersafe Radio and built by Ocean out of China. It comes pre-programmed with a lot of receive-only frequencies and a lot of what they call SHTF frequencies, channels that you can listen to if you need to listen to an emergency type situation. It comes pre-programmed with all of the GMRS channels as well, so you don't have to do anything. You just turn it on and go. This is a brand new radio that is being released in 2022. They are taking, I think they're taking pre-orders. It's on pre-sale now. Initial stock is on the way with 2 to 3 week back order expected. This video is being recorded at the very end of 2021. It's going to be released at the very beginning of 2022. So this is a brand spanking new design, brand new radio, something that they have been working on for a long time, and I expect really great results from it. So once I get one of these in my hand, I will be doing a review on it. But for the moment, this is 400 channels, a GMRS 2A radio, and scanner classic super heterodyne, full FPP, which means front panel programming keypad, so you can program everything from the front panel and not have to plug it into a computer. It's got high power, 4 watts or more, 0.5 watts on low power, 155 split CTCSS tones, 1-click display modes, 4 PFK dual watch, priority scan, 2600 milliamp hour lithium ion battery, dual push to talk, so you can key up on the top band or bottom band without changing anything on the screen. It's got a 4.5 GMRS tuned antenna, rugged, compact. It's IP55 rated, and it's FCC Part 95 Echo and Part 15B certified with the software programmable, which is a free download. This is an excellent choice for someone who's been into GMRS for a while. Maybe you have a couple of cheap radios and you want to upgrade to something better. This might be a really great choice for you. The next one up is also by Ocean, and it is the KG935G over at buy2wayradios.com, which again, a lot of their radios we're talking about today are from their website. These come in at $149 a pop. Now, these radios are nice because they are made off of the UV8 Hotel form factor of dual band ham radio. They have a dark backlit display with white text on top of it. So they're a little bit easier to look at. If you're looking at your radio screen at nighttime, you don't want it to be really bright to where it's kind of hard to look at, and it's too bright because your eyes are used to the darkness outside. So these have a dark backlight and a white text instead of having a bright backlight with black text. It's just a matter of what feature you like to see in a radio. These are rated for IP66 with dust and water protection. So they're going to be a lot more durable than something that doesn't carry that IP66 rating. They're designed for the serious GMRS user. It gives you exactly what you need to take full advantage of GMRS. Short video on that right there. Features 30 GMRS channels, 8 GMRS repeater channels, and up to 999 programmable channels for receive only. So you could put pretty much every frequency and every channel and every repeater you ever want into this radio and listen to it and have capability to just kind of monitor traffic from all kinds of sources. 5.5 watts of maximum transmit power, so it's a little bit more power than the previous models we've talked about. It's got several, this is the whole list of the display here. Lithium ion battery pack of 3,200 milliamp hours. So it's almost twice as big as some of the previous models of radios we talked about. So it's got a longer life battery. It's going to last you a lot longer. It's larger, got a better display, larger, easier to read display. A little bit more power, a little bit better form factor. It's got 2 channel knobs on the top. One of them is to change the channels. One of them is to change the volume. And at $150, it is definitely one of the top of the line GMRS radios available in this video today. The last one we're going to talk about is also from Bettersafe Radio. It is the UV9G Pro GMRS. It's also made by Ocean. This is another collaboration project between Bettersafe Radio and Ocean in China. So they gave Bettersafe Radio, contacted them and they said, we want to build a radio that has all these features. And Ocean said, okay, we'll build that for you. And they built it for them, and they import it here in the United States and sell it that way. This one also has 999 memory channels. It is a dual band scanner for both dual and true dual receive. True dual receive means that it has two bands displayed on the screen, one on the top, one on the bottom. True dual receive means that if both bands are receiving at the same time, you're going to hear traffic that crashes in one another, and you're going to hear it's like turning on two different radios at the same time, listening both at the same time. A lot of these lower and less expensive radios have what's called dual watch. They'll monitor two frequencies at the same time, but as soon as one lights up and starts having traffic, the other one gets muted, and you won't hear both at the same time. On this one, you will hear both at the same time, whether there's traffic on one band or the other, or both, or neither. So it's got true dual receive in it. It's got UHF FM and broadcast FM, 155 CTCSS channels, new firmware for 7-band receive with AM air band. So you can receive like airband and air traffic control frequencies with that. 3,200 milliamp hour lithium ion battery, dual PTT, which again means you can key up on the top band. It's got two PTTs on the side of the radio, so you can keep on the top or the bottom, not at the same time, but at different times without changing anything on the screen. It's got an 8-inch high gain GMRS antenna. It's rugged, compact, and it's IP55 certified. So it's FCC type accepted and certified as well. This one says it's now shipping all back orders as new stock comes in. This one, I actually have this one. I did a video on this one, which I will link somewhere around here. You can go check that out about this radio. This one comes pre-programmed with several hundred channels. It says right here on this screen, if you can look at that, I'm trying to make that bigger in the window. Pre-programmed for all GMRS and SHTF, MCOM, emergency comms, Oxcom, React, CERT, ear scanner, police department, fire, EMS, weather, wide AM, FM receive, 76 to 180 megahertz, 230 to 250 megahertz, 350 to 512, 700 to 900 megahertz. It comes pre-programmed with all of this stuff. Again, there's several hundred channels that this comes in, so you don't have to do anything. All you do is turn the radio on, you turn the dial to where do you want to listen to, and it comes pre-programmed with all this. Now, you can go in there and change that with the free software that you can download for the radio. You can change names on some of the channels. You can change CTCSS tones on some of the channels, and you can do different stuff like that. But if you just want something you can just turn on and hit scan and scan through everything, this is the radio for you. It does come in at about $179, so this is the most expensive radio we're talking about today. But this is a radio that basically has the largest battery, the most channel memories, one of the largest displays, and it comes pre-programmed with pretty much everything you would want to see. So it's feature packed. It is USA supported because BetterSafeRadio.com is inside of the USA. Even though the radio is made in China, they support their products that they sell from their website in the USA. So it is a good addition for those of you who are very serious in GMRS. You can check this out more on their website. The links will be in the description below. So those are the top 11 GMRS radios that I would recommend. Something else that you might want to check out, go to the Motorola website. Motorola, just Google Motorola USA. Go to Motorola website and check out some of their GMRS radios. Their website's a little bit hard to navigate. You can find them, but it might take a few clicks to get to the actual GMRS radios. There's a lot of commercial grade radios and a lot of like talk about FRS radios on their website, but you can drill down and find the Motorola GMRS radios. Those are always going to be a good choice. Motorola is a fantastic company and they make a very quality product. Most of their radios are not made in the USA, but they are supported in the USA and they have put a lot of R&D money into making their radios. Another one is Midland. Go to Midland USA. Just Google Midland USA. I might share those links in the description below as well. Go to Midland USA. Check out all of their GMRS radio offerings. Most of those are made in the USA. So if you want something that's made in the USA, Midland's going to be your choice. If you want something that's got a lot of R&D research dollars behind it, Motorola might be your choice. But if you want something that's reliable, easy to use, easy to navigate, easy to get support for, or if you want something that's just entry level and inexpensive and something to get your feet wet, this list of 11 radios I listed today is going to give you all of that. Let me know what you think in the comments below, guys. Put a comment below. Let me know what radio you have. What radio do you have right now? What GMRS radio do you have right now? Or if you're about to get your license, which one are you looking at? Okay. Did I not include something that you think I should have included? Put a comment below. Thank you for watching today, and I hope to hear you on the air.